In this video, we're going to look at deciding on the key ratios we need to build our financial model. So where we left off is with a summary of financial information. What I'm going to do is change the sign of sales to positive. Normally in accounting, sales is negative because it's a credit and expenses are positive. But in financial modeling, it's generally a good idea not to use negative signs. It's confusing to the users, so we'll set everything to positive. And then to get to gross profit, we're going to say sales less cost of sales. And it's always a good idea to put in a format of top and bottom border when you put in a total. And you can copy that format across. And we can copy across our sum. And then copy across there. Likewise for our cat food, we're going to change the sum of the sales to positive for branch A, and then for branch B, change it all to positive. Oops. So equals minus, and there it's all positive. We can take the formula we have up here, copy it down there, and we have our gross profit formatted in a total format. Okay, so typically the kind of things we want to see are sales growth percentage, gross profit percentage, expense percentage. From there, we'll then have enough information to build our ratios and our model. So to do sales growth, you say equals sales of this year, 2013, minus sales of the prior year. And copy that across. And we can do that for branch B. Sales growth, you'll say your sales growth of this year divided by the sales of last year. And format that percent, 8%, you can copy that across. Okay, so immediately we notice that sales have jumped by 100% in branch B. So we would have to ask the question of the managers, is this a reasonable result we're getting? In this case, we're told this is a new branch, so it is reasonable in its second year of operation to double operations. After that, it then levels out at 8%, but in its first year after opening, it does double its size. So that's an example of test checking the information we get. To do sales growth for cat food, it's the same thing again. This year's sales minus last year's. And our percentage growth is going to be our gross divided by last year's sales. Change the format to percent and copy that across. And we see the same pattern again. Cat food grew by 100% in branch B in the second year. Right, let's look at gross profit of dog food. So we take the gross profit divided by sales and change the format to percent. You can copy that across. And we see a 40% gross profit percentage in both branches. Cat food, same thing. Gross profit divided by sales. Change the format to percent. Copy that across. And we can see a pattern now of 40% in dog food, 60% in cat food. Very important is to work out totals in a financial model. So we need total sales, which we haven't actually worked out anywhere else at this point. There's total sales for both branches. Total gross profit, so that's the gross profit of both categories. Sales of dog food give us a gross profit and sales of cat food give us a gross profit. We want to know the total. Okay, and what's our gross profit percent? It'll be total gross profit divided by total sales. Change that to percent. Okay, expense percentages. These are very useful to work out our variable ratios. So what we're going to do is we're going to take sales commission divided by total sales. So there you see now what is useful to get our total sales percentage. So I'm going to lock the reference to, and I press F4 to do this, and then I press it until I get a dollar next to row 31. If I click on it, you'll see that it's highlighting the total sales figure, because I want to do all of these calculations as a percentage of total sales, which is row 31. I'm not going to lock B because I want to do the calculation in column C, D, F, G, and H. Okay, so I can copy that across, and I can copy that down as well. So if you want to check your formula at any time, you click on the formula bar and you can see it's highlighting one blue, one red. The blue is advertising, the red is total sales. And what are we trying to get? Advertising as a percentage of total sales. So my formula is working. I can copy that into branch B. Okay, so now we can see some patterns. So sales commission as a percentage of sales is 6%, and we'll definitely want to use that in our model. Delivery costs are about 1%, and we'll definitely want to use that in our model. We have salaries and utilities which have different percentages. So those are not variable costs, those are fixed costs. Printing and stationery and repairs and maintenance are also not typically variable costs, and we're not getting consistent percentages. So what we're going to do when we build our model is we'll put in sales growth variables, gross profit, sales commission, and delivery cost percentages. And then for all the other costs like store rental and salaries, we're going to treat them as a fixed cost. We'll have a fixed cost in year one, which will inflate by an inflation percentage. And so now we have the basic information we need to build our financial model.